wengi wako Uhuru na Ruto ni wezi wa kura ambaye hawastahili kusimama mbele ya Wakenya bila kuona aibu kusema ati wao ni viongozi wetu. Ni aibu kubwa zaidi kuona kama yeye anapiga kifua kusema na sisi ni kina nani. Kenya haiwezi kuongozwa na viongozi ambaye hawana msimamo ya uhaki na ukweli. Kura ya Wakenya mpaka iheshimiki. Na vile sisi tumesema ushahidi iko ya kutosha ya kuonyesha uhusiano baina ya kampuni inaitwa Safran Mofo na viongozi wa IEBC wengine na viongozi wa serikali. Tuna ushahidi ya kutosha kusema yule hongo na rushwa ambayo walilipwa pale, hiyo pesa ilipitia kwa akaunti ya wakili gani na ilipelekwa kwa wakina nani, na wakati mwingine sisi tutatoa hiyo ushahidi kuaibisha hawa viongozi. Kwa hivyo pale tunasimama, tuko kwa uchaguzi, lakini uchaguzi bora. Tunaunga mkono ile ripoti ambayo imetolewa na ile shirika ya jamii ya Ulaya and European Union ambayo vile vile imetoa masharti ambayo yanatakikana itimizwe kabla uchaguzi hujafanyika, na kupendekeza ya kwamba wale waliohusika kwa wezi washikwe na washtakiwe kisheria. Sisi tunaunga mkono hiyo pendekezo ya European Union. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuko peke yetu, tuko pamoja na ulimwengu mzima.
Thank you very much. Just a recap on what you said and what you said yesterday about Mofo, the OT Mofo company. You said that, and from clearly what you said yesterday, is that NASA will not be allowing Mofo to supply the electronic system management devices, the KIMS kit. Looking at the timelines that we have, IEBC gazetted 17th of October, is just less than a month. Then when you add to the order, the Supreme Court order, then it gives one month and some few weeks or 2 weeks to repeat presidential election. Is it possible to have another supply?
Well, there is no reason why it is not possible to get another supplier. As you know, Mofo did not win this tender. Mofo did not win. It was after it lost the tender, it was single-sourced. There are quite a number of companies which are ready to come in, provide the system, and even lease the KIMS kits instead of selling them to the government. And that will be far much cheaper. You ask yourself, they are asking for 15 billion shillings. It started with 12, now the Treasury is talking of 15 billion. Ask yourself, what is that money going to be used for? That is money which is just going to go into the private pocket of individuals. If you are spending that kind of money, there's no reason why you cannot hire the equipment to provide this service, which is desirable. And we know of several companies which are ready to come and install this ICT system at very limited cost, much cheaper than the kind of the money that is being asked for right now by the IEBC.
So you don't buy the argument by IEBC that setting up a new infrastructure by a new company or a new supplier will take much longer time as compared to Mofo, which they say will only do what you call reconfiguring for the repeat presidential election.
There are more than 5 companies which are ready, as we are talking, to provide this system within the next 3 weeks, if they are given the order today. So time is not a constraint in this matter. That is just an excuse. You remember when we went to court, the court ruled in February that the question of Al-Ghurair, that they should not be given the contract. The IEBC appealed the case. They lost it. Then they went to come up with excuses that, oh, time is too short. It was single source. In the single source, it went back again to the same company. We know how Saffron Mofo got this contract. We know the individuals. We know the negotiations. We know the commissions paid through which advocates firm and who are the beneficiaries of that commission in the IEBC and the senior government officials. They know themselves. And if they're not careful, we're going to name them shortly. We wrote to the IEBC, giving them our reducible minimum conditions. They have not responded to our letter. Therefore, there's no basis for negotiations between us and them. We asked them to respond to our letter. Then there will be a basis for sitting down with them and negotiating. We need a response to our letter. And they told us they are preparing to respond. If they will respond today or tomorrow. And then, depending on how they've responded, we will be prepared to have a consultation. I see that speculation. I was told that Saffron Mofo was asking for more time. As you know, that is a completely different starting point. As we don't want Saffron Mofo to provide the services, we want them out. So the excuse that they're even asking for is very wrong. As we want Saffron Mofo, we wanted them out yesterday, because they're the ones who colluded with the IEBC to rig these elections. And as you remember, there was a court order, Supreme Court order, directing them to give us access to their servers, which they defied. They refused. Why? Because there's something they were hiding. That's why they refused to give us access to their server. And then now they turn out and turn back and say they have carried out an audit and they found that there was no hacking done. How can they audit themselves? Audit is usually done by an independent body. So the way that company is behaving, it's exactly the same way they behaved in Nigeria. And you remember what happened to them in Nigeria. So we're not surprised that they're behaving this way. This is a company which specializes in messing up elections in Africa.
You've talked about the telecom, Safaricom and Telecom, about being, you're embroiling them in this saga. What's your case against them?
Yes, we have a case against them. We have sufficient evidence of collusion because they know that the results that were coming from polling stations were terminated in France. They never came back into Kenya. And yet they're giving the impression that they were transmitting to Bomas of Kenya. And Safaricom is very much aware of this issue. And Telecom Kenya is so equally aware of this. So we say we have sufficient evidence of that collusion. No, I'm not aware of list that you're talking about. But all we know is that we will sit down as NASA PG, members of Parliament, and agree on the leadership of the House. It is something that will be mutually negotiated. As things stand right now, Honorable Moses Wetangula is our leader in the Senate, and Honorable John Badi is our leader in the National Assembly. But beyond that, no other list has been prepared. It will be negotiated and will be agreed upon. So there really is no cause for alarm at all. There are no quarrels or differences. Asante.
Hello. Hello.